Hey everyone, today we'll be exploring the impacts of climate change and greenhouse gases on the ocean. Just as a refresher, greenhouse gas emissions like carbon dioxide come mainly from electricity generation and transportation, among other activities like agriculture. Greenhouse gases do not allow the solar radiation that bounces off Earth's surface to escape from the atmosphere, thus trapping in more heat. As greenhouse gases increase, so does the planet's overall temperature. As a result of a warming planet, sea levels are rising as ice caps and glaciers around the world melt and drain into the ocean. About half of the sea level rise today is a result of thermal expansion, as water simply expands the warmer it gets. About 40% of people in the US live on the coast, so rising seas will create a multitude of challenges for coastal communities. The ocean is rising at about 0.13 inches per year, which doesn't sound like a lot, but low estimates predict the ocean will rise 2 feet by the end of the century, while others estimate up to 7 feet of sea level rise. For anyone who surfs, you know what a bummer high tide can be. Imagine your favorite surf break locked into permanent high tide forever. Another issue greenhouse gases cause in the ocean is ocean acidification, what scientists call the other CO2 problem. The ocean absorbs about a quarter of the carbon dioxide we put in the atmosphere and about 93% of the heat we have created. When CO2 mixes with ocean water, it creates carbonic acid. It is not unlikely that the planet would be uninhabitable already without the ocean. The pH of the ocean has dropped from 8.2 to 8.1, which is a 30% increase in acidity. Acidity could double by the end of the century if emissions are not held in check. Consequences of ocean acidification include the eroding of the protective shells of clams, oysters, urchins, and pteropods. The loss of pteropods alone would have massive implications on the larger species that rely on these organisms for food. Acidification has also been linked to behavioral issues and changes in fish. Its effect on entire ecosystems is largely unknown. Warmer ocean water can also hold less oxygen, and unfortunately, fish require more oxygen in warmer waters. This issue is referred to as low ocean oxygen, deoxygenation. Under normal conditions, ocean water cycles oxygen to the deep and brings nutrients up to the surface. However, when heat is added to this equation, stratification occurs, which prevents the exchange of oxygen and nutrients throughout the different depths. 85% of the oxygen lost in the ocean can be attributed to stratification. On average, the ocean has lost 2% of its oxygen, while places like the coast of California have lost between 20 and 40% of the ocean's oxygen. The combination of low oxygen and warmer waters decrease the amount of area certain species can survive, as they must stay within their acceptable range of oxygen and temperature levels. Another more localized contributor to deoxygenation is nutrient runoff from agriculture into the oceans. Extra nutrients cause algal blooms that suck out oxygen in a process called eutrophication. Eutrophication can cause dead zones, as evidenced in the Gulf of Mexico, where excess nutrients pour in from the Mississippi River. Warmer ocean waters can also cause corals to reach their temperature maximums, forcing them to expel the algae that give them their color and nutrients, leaving them bleached. Without these algae to provide them with nutrients, the coral will die. However, a bleaching event does not necessarily mean death for coral, as they can reestablish their relationship with algae if conditions permit quickly after bleaching. The clock is ticking for our coral reefs, as half of our reefs on Earth are already gone. Scientists predict we could lose most of the coral reefs by mid-century. Much damage has already been done, but we can work to prevent further catastrophe in the ocean. Anything you can do in your personal life to lower your carbon emissions is a step in the right direction. Small things like biking, flying minimally, conserving energy, and consuming a largely plant-based diet can all have real positive impacts. Another great thing to do is contact your government representatives and tell them that you demand action on climate change. Together we can fight back against the negative effects of climate change and ensure that we keep our oceans and coasts alive and healthy, just how they're supposed to be.